Uh, hey, Shannon.
Hey,
Thanks for joining me today.
anytime. It's always fun with you.
I love it, love it. So, welcome, or let's welcome the UK members here.
Woo!
So we're super excited to be that Christine invited us to come and share a little bit of Shannon's vision, and how it ties into the mission of Polka Dot and what that looks like. But we just want to say thank you for getting together. Super excited that you ladies are able to get together today in person, and we're happy to be a part of your celebration today.
Absolutely. It's such an honor that Christine asked us and to be able to be here. So congratulations and thanks for showing up. And yeah, we're happy to be here.
Awesome. All right, so let's get to the good stuff. So,
Hey,
Shannon,
who are you? Who are you?
who am I? All right, I get to go first, huh? All
Yeah.
right, so my name is Mindy Van Vliet. I am one of two regional support directors for Polka Dot Powerhouse. I've been with Polka Dot since 2014. Began as a member just looking for a community with no drama, no judgment, connection, truly connecting with women, like-minded women. When I saw that post on Facebook, I'm like, I'm there. I'm all in. All right, Shannon, it is your turn.
And I'm Shannon Crotty. I'm the founder and CEO of Polka Dot Powerhouse. And I think we're going to cover a little bit of our history, but I was the very first dot, very first dot.
Very first dot with that big vision. So give us a brief history of Polka Dot, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the condensed version because I know we want this to be a length of video that people can easily digest. But I was a transplant from Oklahoma to Wisconsin and spent a great deal of time struggling for connection here. I'm an ambivert, right? So it didn't come naturally to me, it didn't come easy to me. And started a company here, a magazine, women's magazine. And during the time that I had the women's magazine, my sister had passed, and a couple of years went by, and of course, that's a whole nother story. But my sister and I were so close. My sister was one of the few relationships that I felt like I could breathe in. It was just such an impactful relationship for me. So when she passed, that was a huge thing for me. And so a couple of years past her passing, I'm in the car, I'm praying to her. I was in a moment of crisis at that time. And she sent me the name Polka Dot Powerhouse. It was just, I'm praying to her to help me, and all of a sudden the name Polka Dot Powerhouse is here. So after a while of thinking about it, I suggested we start a group under the magazine, and it looked like a crash and burn, right? It looked like a fail. Like nobody signed up. One person signed up actually when we launched, and it looked like a failure. But something in my gut, I'm sure that was my sister speaking to me, but something in my gut told me to keep going. And so now here we are talking to members in the UK. What?
I know. Trust your gut, right?
Yeah.
Always trust your gut.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we say that every member is a sister that my sister Tina has sent. So, some people believe in that, some people don't. That's fine with me. But sometimes you hear about how people found us.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, that was a good one. My sister's name is Tina. Good one, Tina. I saw you work hard on that one, right? So she sent so many extraordinary sisters. I think, and it's benefited me. It's benefited you. So many women have been impacted by that. So I'm super grateful.
I love it. I love it. And if you're looking for that story of Shannon, so you'd like to share with someone else, it is on our website. So be sure to go to the website, and you can learn more about Shannon's story. All right. So Shannon, share with me, or share with the ladies here, why do you think all of this sisterhood is so important? What is it? What is that desire?
There's a lot of groups, and they're all they're all needed, right? Like there's no shortage of need for people supporting each other. But a lot of the groups have a very specific purpose. And what I discovered over time is with groups is that I'd have to compartmentalize this group for this and this group for this. And I'd have to decide what hat I was wearing and where I was wearing it, all those things. One of the things that evolved with Polka Dot, I don't think it was even in the vision of it in the beginning, but it evolved over time, is that how about you have an army of sisters with you in all the parts of your life? And so you don't have to, oh, these are my friends for this and this. These are my sisters. This is my support system. This is my push system. And whether you're in business, you're not in business, you have crises, you're in a moment of glory, whatever, that same family of sisters is there, and it's a community that you can breathe with. So I think the fact that, we started out very much as a business group, and there's still there's still a lot of people in business in our group, but now we've evolved to be more about the sisterhood. I think, what serves you in one area of your life serves you in all areas of your life. So whether you're seeking for this group to be about, growing your business or growing you personally, or just having people on your side, all of those things serve each other. And so I found that Dot Sisters can find what they're looking for in the community. They just have to know, this is my purpose right now, and that can change over time, but know what you're looking for. And sometimes you don't even figure it out till you're in there, right? Sometimes you don't even know why you're here, and all of a sudden it appears to you, but you have unlimited resources within the vast diversity and brilliance of the women in this group.
Exactly. For me, as that entrepreneur that was coming in, we have our friends and we have acquaintances that will always be our friends. But for me, I was looking for that support system, those other entrepreneurs that I could go to for support, but also that were going to push me outside of my comfort zone and be that support. Like you said, that army of lifelong friends that I know they're going to have my back no matter what season of life I'm in. But they understood me as a business, that solopreneur, right? They understood that. So I love that. All right. So share with me, or share with us, the ladies here, Polka Dot Powerhouse we launched in the United States, but now we have chapters in both Canada and the United Kingdom, and we're looking to expand those chapters because we find that those in-person connections is really where the relationship deepens. But share with me what prompted you to even venture out into the global aspect, into other countries. Can you share with us?
Yeah, to be totally transparent, it's when a great leader presents themselves, right? Like I think we all, we talked about this many times, Mindy. I've talked about this when I talk to other members, that trusting the 300 feet. When we started, there was I couldn't even envision it outside my local area, much less going to the UK and Canada, right? But it was trusting that 300 feet. And so what has prompted the international reach is members that say, hey, I want to start a chapter here. And sometimes we can't even wrap our brain around that, but them being in the country help us understand that people need that there too. And so it's always been about great leaders, but for me, it's about, the world is both big and small. It's what we seek it out to be. And for us to feel supported and seen, we got to learn from each other. And women in other parts of the country than what we're in. So women, for you guys listening, women in the United States, women in Canada, women in whatever country you're thinking of, we have so much to teach each other. We have so many ways to grow each other. Like we are only limited by what our mind limits us. And if we can expand ourselves geographically through the people that we know, through the strong women that we know geographically, like the sky and beyond is the limit. We've just got so much to give each other. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Hence that tag, right? Changing the world by connecting the dots. I love that. That just spoke so much to me. So what other countries would you like to see Polka Dot Powerhouse grow into?
So my qualifier, so Mindy knows this about me, but maybe you guys don't know this about me, is that I'm very strategic. But for me, the more that I get like worked up in certain numbers or things like that, the more I want to watch it from the side. And for me for it to be an authentic sisterhood, the head leaders have got to be involved in that sisterhood. So I tend to look at it as, okay, where are there women who need sisterhood? Mm-hmm. That's the countries I want to be in. Hence all of them. Mm-hmm. If there's women in that country who need sisterhood, and I can't imagine a country that does not need that, I want them to at least have access to us. I want them to at least have the opportunity to benefit from this beautiful family that's been built. So to me, there's no country that does not need it. It's a matter of the perfect timing for that. And that is always obvious to me when the perfect leader steps up who understands the vision and says, I want my country to have chapters like this too.
Interesting perspective, especially coming from a strategic person where you would say normally, right? I want it to be here. I believe in manifesting that, but the right people are going to come into our world exactly when they are supposed to.
Absolutely. And you know what? It took me a long time, but I've learned to trust that. I've learned that that the perfect opportunity and the perfect person comes at the perfect time. And the more that we try to rush it or, charge our own way without trusting, then we just got to keep circling around. So I just learned that trust the process, trust the people, know that whomever needs you, we're going to land right in their doorstep and they're going to see that. And wow, it makes it more easy to breathe when you do it that way, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So what is your vision as we are talking about expanding this growth and building awareness, right? And that reach out to other women who do need us. What is your vision for a global sisterhood and how can that impact the lives of other women?
So to answer your first question, like, for example, we're talking to UK members right now, and we're talking to people globally. For example, in the UK, when we get 100 members, we can start looking at starting local chapters because, as you and I have talked about, online is beautiful, but if we can do it in person, that just really goes another different level. So once each country gets a foundation of members, then we can start talking about local chapters. But for me, I want millions of women to be in this sisterhood. I want to be able to learn from and teach and grow from and really be injected with life from the people that I know in the sisterhood, which is already happening. But can you imagine when we're in all these countries, how big that impact is going to be? It's going to be huge. And I think one thing I really want to stress to people that are in our sisterhood is that you're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. You need to surround yourself with women who see your value and want the best for you and maybe hold you to a higher standard, firmer boundaries, but also you can fall down in front of them and it doesn't change the way they feel about you. Those are women that can help you do more than you even envision yourself doing, right?
Yeah.
Do everything that you envision and probably more because other people are always able to see in us other things that we can't see. So I know the impact of the community, but this is right now it's US, UK, and Canada, which is incredible. We're extraordinarily blessed. But can you imagine what that impact is going to be when we get so many other countries involved in that? It's just, I can't imagine it, but I know it's going to be amazing, just amazing.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And circling back to what we had talked about, the 100 members in each country before we start launching those individual chapters. Number one, so that we have the presence in that country, right? Some of the reasons, I know members are asking, well, why is that? Why can't we do that? Well, we've tried, right? We through experience. So getting that strong foundation, like you mentioned, a strong foundation, but that doesn't mean that the clusters of women in certain areas can't still get together and build awareness, right? Build that awareness of the organization and host some in-person events, whatever that might look like. So if you're watching from the UK or if you're watching from Canada, where we have those two online chapters, we encourage you to get together with other women from other members from your area, invite guests to come, because that is how we have grown, is through that organic growth, right? And that's how we will continue.
Absolutely. So for people in other countries that maybe don't have in-person chapters yet, we have this extraordinary worldwide chapter, right? Like if your country doesn't have a official chapter yet, we have a worldwide chapter that is rocking that dot, right? Like they are on fire, amazing. They have meetings and things like that. UK and Canada also have virtual meetings. But yes, once we get a foundation, you don't continue to build a house unless you have a foundation. right? And like you said, we've tried it before, lesson learned, right? You don't build on a house that doesn't have a solid foundation. So as soon as that country has a solid foundation of members who have utilized the virtual, and like you just said, met in person, like there's no rules that you can't, like, how can you make this bigger? How can you make it more impactful for you, right? Your mind is a limitation. So what can your mind invent with this beautiful sisterhood that we have to make it most benefit you until that foundation is built? And then just watch out. Just watch out.
Yeah, I love it. I hope you don't mind, but I wanted to ask you a couple questions about Diamond membership. That was a level of membership that that often members aren't aware of until they get in. Do you want to explain how you came about with Diamond? Because I was one of those first people. I as a member, again, knew the importance of investing in myself. As that entrepreneur, I know that continued education, continued growth. And so when you presented Diamond membership, I'm like, raise my hand, I'm all in, right? I am that all in person. But explain a little bit of how you started Diamond and what that vision was for you and where it is at today, which is a beautiful story in itself.
Yeah. So I'm a person that, sometimes it doesn't appear I'm listening, but I'm always listening, right? And so when we first started, within the first couple of years of our start, I kept hearing, or I started to hear, what about, this is great, but we should have a group for really like people who are really going after goals, like that are a little bit more driven, like the sisterhood is great, but some people are more driven than other people. And yeah. I'm just trying to hold my head above water. Just talk over here. But then, when you start hearing it over and over again, and God, the universe, whatever your belief system is like, hello, trying to talk to you. I heard it enough that all of a sudden one morning, it just occurred to me, this is what we need to do. We need to have a different level of membership. That is maybe for people who want a little bit smaller community that's more driven, that will help them get to up level where they want to go. And not everybody wants that. Not everybody should want that, but we need a group for that. And so what was really interesting, just a little side story, is I announced it. And that when we were still really young, I've learned my lesson there, but there was a team traveling for a launch somewhere. And when they got there, people were like, tell me more about this. And they're like, we have no idea what you're talking about. What has Shannon done? Right. So it was like, it was like the spur of the moment kind of thing. But over time, that Diamond membership, it's always been amazing, but it's evolved now to really like small group mastermind, large group mastermind, their own business connect, that for people who are really concentrated, whether that's personal or professional, on up leveling, like they really want a group to hold them accountable. And what's really amazing is that it's at a fraction of the cost of even things that I've seen that serve the same, the same kind of need, the same kind of masterminds and stuff. It's like at a fraction of the cost, and it's dot sisters. So that although they're all really driven, goal oriented, that also if you fall flat on your face, so what? Right? They're still going to support you. You can trust them. You can feel at ease with them, but you know that you're going to be pushed and you're going to be held to a higher standard. And it's going to be much more enjoyable as you get to the goal that you want to get to.
Love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
All right. So any closing words for the ladies here that we're talking with today at the UK chapter?
Yeah, number one, again, I know we talked about this at the beginning. I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity. Obviously, we can't be everywhere all the time, but anytime we get an invitation to be somewhere, it's like, oh, wow, they really want to hear from us. And that's really special. And that means a lot. So number one, thank you. Thank you for being a part of our family. And it's, Mindy, there's a video out, and I can't remember the name of it, but it talks about the fire starter is not the first one with the idea, right? Like they're important. But the fire starter are the people who believe in and grab the vision of that. And that's what I see right now with the UK, Canada, and the other countries that will be soon. We don't know they're coming yet, but they'll be here. It's not, it's a sisterhood is much bigger than one person. It's not about one person. I'm blessed that I had the idea, but the fact that you are here at this time when we're talking about this and you have grabbed the idea and you believe in the sisterhood and you're a part of it and you're active in it, it's a much bigger deal than probably you even know. Like you're going to be able to say, I was here then. I was here before they ever had local chapters. Can you believe that? Oh yeah, there was a time that happened. to me, that's a really exciting opportunity. And I'm so, so thrilled that you've blessed us to be part of our sisterhood and that you're here at this very exciting time on the cusp of this international growth.
Perfect. Perfectly said, Shannon. Thank you so much. I've had just an amazing, I'm going on 10 years. Do you realize that, like, how fast the time goes? Like 10 years working with you and watching this company evolve from something that, like you said, you started because it was a need of yours, right? It was something that you needed to fill those desires that you had, but then to trust the process as it has evolved and as the amazing women that are coming in to help us grow this organization. Just thank you for the opportunity to be here as well.
Oh, thank you, Mindy. And UK already knows this. Canada knows this. All the other countries will very shortly know this. Half the time when you said, hey, who's impacted you the most in the sisterhood, almost always you hear Mindy's name. Mindy, we are so blessed to have you on our team. I don't know how we got so blessed, but I am just very thankful. You're the poster child of what Polka Dot's all about. Your heart is obviously the biggest organ of your body. Thanks. I don't know where all the organs are, but your heart is the biggest. And I love that about you. So thank you back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ladies, for letting us be here and speak with you today. We'll hope to see you in person real soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.